Capitalism
I'll
has
say is,
survived in this country.
Oh, I know.
some of the biggest healthcare providers in Pennsylvania are Blues.
Right.
They're nonprofits.
But look at all the money they're making.
I mean, but my point is, they're not profit. They're nonprofit. They have to maintain reserves, but the point I'm making is they are not for-profit enterprises. Blues. I mean, unless they don't pay dividends. They don't pay dividends. I mean, what's a profit? I guess. The issue. I'm not here to argue whether or not we should adopt the British-style system or Swiss-style system or German or French. But what I can tell you is that Europe has an entitlement crisis going on right now. Europe is being forced into austerity. They have made many, many commitments that they're going to have a difficult time honoring. I think we can all understand that. President Sarkozy of France and Chancellor Merkel of Germany cautioned our president at the time of the stimulus, that they did not want to do more because they understand the looming entitlement crisis that they are facing. They get it. And my concern with the American health care law as enacted is it moves this country in the direction of the European-style welfare state. Okay? Now, and it does. But we have to understand what that means. And I believe it will mean lower and slower rates of economic growth. That it will necessitate higher tax rates like you have in Europe, including a value-added tax, and which will lead to structurally higher unemployment, where a 10% unemployment rate becomes the norm rather than the exception. That is my fear of less opportunity. Now look out in this room, I suspect a lot of your ancestors, like mine, came from Europe. They came here for a reason. They're either escaping persecution or looking for economic opportunity, or both. And they came here, they gave up everything to come here. And that's what separates America from Europe. I love Europe. I think it's a wonderful place, and I respect their traditions, I respect their culture, and I respect their heritage, and they have enacted laws that are in keeping with their traditions, as it should be. But I think on health care, it's going to require an American solution. And I'm afraid that we have moved in the direction of the European model, which I don't believe is a sustainable model for future generations. I mean, that's just my sense.
May I just say something that Churchill has said? He has said that I can always count on Americans to do the right thing after they've tried everything else.
He did say that.
I know he did.
He did, and I think that was in reference to our entry into the Second World War, because he saw us as foot dragging, and then ultimately he said they will do the right thing, but not until they've exhausted every other possible alternative. And it was a very famous statement, but I'll tell you, he wasn't a fan of the socialists in Europe either. He was not. I knew that about Churchill, not much about him. Let me try to go. You've been waiting so patiently. Sorry.
We have an illegal immigration problem in this country.
Yeah.
There's 13 to 15 million illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
They take jobs away from Americans, and they're keeping the economy from rebounding. If you're just a laborer, you'll get $2 an hour as an immigrant, illegal immigrant, and you'll work anywhere from 12 to 16 hours a day, 6 and 7 days a week. If you're a skilled immigrant that's illegal, the carpenter, an electrician, a brick mason, you'll get $5 an hour, and you'll work 12 to 16 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. When I was working, I paid taxes. I'm on disability. I had to pay $2,000 in taxes this year because my wife, thank God, works. And if I wouldn't have paid that, I would have been arrested and put in jail because I would have been considered a criminal. Why aren't these illegal immigrants considered criminals? They're in the country illegal, which is a criminal offense, and they're not paying taxes. They're not doing anything to support this country. They're not putting money back into the economy. They're sending it home, and they're keeping just enough to live on.
And they get benefits.
And they get benefits. If they get sick, they go to the hospital, and I pay for it.
Well, okay, fair comments about the nature of illegal immigration in America. The official number, I think it's greater than the 12 million, 11 or 12 million that's officially reported. But, and I just want to just back up a second. You know, if we're estimating about 12 million people in this country illegally, remember that we think somewhere between 1/3 to 1/2 of them entered legally and are now here illegally. That is, they've overstayed on visa. And that is a big part of our problem. We do not enforce exit well. It's a big problem for us. That said, we must secure the border. That is more border patrol, more ICE agents,